Hello everybody, my name is Victoria and this is an episode called Is It Worth It? Which basically what I do is that I find recipes, I make them, I review them, and then I see if it's worth your time and money. For this episode, it's gonna be something a little interesting. Everybody loves things covered in chocolate no matter what. It could be the weirdest thing possible, but as long as there's chocolate on it, well, we'll basically eat it. So for today's episode, I am doing jalapeno stuffed with peanut butter covered in chocolate. And then I'm also gonna be doing pickles covered in chocolate. Not a huge fan of pickles, but I maybe have a little high hopes that there's chocolate on it, so maybe, just maybe, it's gonna be worth it. I have no idea. Let's get started. I'm gonna show you guys the ingredients first of what you need, and then we will get started on the recipe. Okay, so first off, we are gonna start with the jalapeno recipe one, and then we'll move on to the dill pickle one. So for this recipe, I am going to be using 1 cup of peanut butter. I'm gonna use crunchy. I love crunchy peanut butter, and people who eat creamy peanut butter is weird. I'm gonna be using dark chocolate. This is confectioner sugar, which we are gonna be mixing with the peanut butter. I'm also gonna be using 1 cup of this, and we are gonna be using jalapenos, the main ingredient. I'll show you guys how to make this, and then we'll move on to the next thing. We're gonna be doing the chocolate dipped pickles now. So I have baby dills. They ran out of the big dill pickles at the store. I just went ahead and went with like baby dill pickles. Tastes the same, just they're gonna be smaller. I also have a cup of milk chocolate chips, and then I have salt, which we are gonna sprinkle on top of the pickles after we're done dipping it in the chocolate. These pickles are patted down. That way most of the liquid is off of it, so it's easier for the chocolate to stick on it, just so that way you guys are aware. Okay, let's get started. I am ready to check this out, or try this out, not check this out, but try this out. A few things before I get started. I just want to say I ran into some errors while making this recipe. Jalapeno covered in chocolate with stuffed peanut butter. First off, the video doesn't really give you the measurements. Now I went online to see if I could find like the exact recipe that I guess it's called Best Bite, and there's no exact recipe, and the only thing they have on their video is a link to Amazon to get the ingredients. I just winged it by looking at the video, and it looked like it was either half a cup or a whole cup of peanut butter. And now I will say, first mistake is that I used crunchy peanut butter instead of creamy peanut butter. Creamy peanut butter people win this time. I probably should have used less powdered sugar. A couple mistakes, that's okay. The point is to learn as we go, so it's okay if we all make mistakes. A-okay. Just to let anybody know. I wish they gave ingredients measurements. I really do. It ended up being like a ball of peanut butter, but it wasn't bad. I went ahead and I stuffed it in there. In the video, it did show them piping it in. Maybe do a half cup of peanut butter creamy. Add powdered sugar and make sure it still stays a little bit on the creamy side. Sorry about that. I'm following about what the video did. Again, I scoured the internet for this stupid recipe. All they give you is a stupid link to Amazon to get the ingredients. So how am I supposed to know how much ingredients to get if they don't give me the exact measurement? Now I do like Best Buy. I do like their channel on Facebook. Just saying, I wish they gave measurements for this stuff so I can be a little bit more precise. It is a lot harder to dip jalapenos and pickles in chocolate than you think. I didn't use the popsicle sticks because I didn't have the big dill pickles. So I just ended up using a fork, which is fine. You know, you can use a fork if you want to. I am gonna show you like a blooper. Like, man, I was trying so hard to get that jalapeno, the first one especially, out of the freaking chocolate. It was just sticking in there. Maybe a mistake, maybe something that I need to fix is that maybe I don't dip the jalapeno all the way in, but what's the point of it being covered in chocolate if it's this much covered in chocolate and this is the whole entire jalapeno? But either way, I got the jalapeno out of the chocolate. So I ran into a few errors. The pickles covered in chocolate. Everything was beautiful. Everything was going a-okay. And then all of a sudden, I get to the last freaking pickle and that happened. Looked like something went wrong making it, and yeah, something did go wrong because for some odd reason the chocolate wasn't really sticking. I even patted the pickle like 3 times. I'm not joking, I did. I even squeezed the water out and it was still really hard to get the chocolate stuck onto the pickle. You run into errors as you're making. I did have fun making all this, and that is the point of baking and cooking, is that you have fun doing it. I know there's a lot of people out there that are going to criticize for things that you do, and everybody has their own opinion on how to do things. I'm pretty sure people are going to criticize me for how I did something. The point I'm trying to say is that we are all going to run into errors while we're making and baking. I am not a perfectionist. I am not a fancy chef. I'm not an expert by any means. If you look in my about section, it even says I am an inexperienced person. I just love cooking and baking. I'm going to stop this rant. Let's try what I have been anticipating for. Honestly, I don't know why they add salt to pickle, the pickle dip chocolate, when pickles itself is already salty. So I'm expecting this to be really freaking salty. I didn't add a lot of salt to it, but I did add some because that is part of the recipe. See if I like this beautiful, beautiful chocolate dip pickle. Oddly enough, it kind of works, but I wouldn't add the salt. The salt is a tad too much. There is way too much salt in this pickle. You don't need to be adding salt to this. Unless you are a person who loves, god dang. Unless you're a person who loves freaking salt, don't add salt to this. This doesn't need salt. I'm kind of glad I went with the dill. I mean, I didn't have a choice. I'm kind of glad I went with the baby dills, because I feel like if it was a huge pickle, unless you're a huge pickle fan, this actually kind of contrasts a little bit better than I feel like a big pickle would. Honestly, kudos to me kudos to the store for not having them in stock. Kudos for me for buying the baby ones instead of saying I'm not gonna do this recipe just because of that. It's kind of like a sour sweet taste. This is okay, just no salt. I am gonna actually try the jalapeno that I first made that is completely smothered in chocolate. So let's go ahead and it's really freaking cold. It does have a little bit of spiciness to it, and then it's spicy and sweet. The peanut butter does add a good taste to it, kind of minuses down that bit of like spiciness in this jalapeno. But it shouldn't be too spicy because when you take out the seeds, most of the spice does go away, but it's still got that little mild spiciness to it. So if you like spicy chocolate and peanut butter, it's not bad. You also have to like the taste of fresh jalapeno. These are a lot bigger than the ones in the video, like the smallest I could find. But yeah, I do say that you have to like the taste of fresh jalapenos, but I love fresh jalapenos, so to me it's actually not bad. If you flip the salt and you put the salt on the jalapeno one instead of the pickle one, I think it will work a lot better. Either way, that is actually gonna be it for me for today. My hands are covered in duty. Will I say this is kind of worth it? Again, it kind of works. It kind of really does. Usually things that are covered in chocolate end up being a-okay. Other than the things that I said that were kind of like the pros and cons, kind of like the con. Pro of it is that it's not too bad, even if you're not a pickle lover like me. You want to try it and it's something weird you want to try, then I say go for it. But again, I don't suggest putting the salt on top of the pickle. Already salty enough. I don't suggest that. If you want to put the salt on top of the jalapeno one, I do suggest that because I think that would actually work pretty well. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to, go ahead and comment down below. My question for you guys today is, what is the weirdest thing you ever had dipped in chocolate? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you like what you see, and that way it does support me. In this way, I will be making more videos in the future. You guys have a beautiful rest of the day and week, and I will see you guys in the next cooktorio. Bye-bye.